Hello everyone, good evening. We'll just wait for 2 more minutes. Can you all please confirm if my voice is audible? Good evening everyone. Thanks for confirming. We'll start in a minute. Well, we're creating a series of videos on data engineering, and also we are going to start a course which will cover completely as Azure data engineering. Please reach out to our team. Our team can help you. Now, this videos on a daily basis will definitely help you to understand why data engineering is important, what are the technologies we are going to learn, and today we are going to also discuss about what are the problems the current systems is facing. Well, to start with, we'll discuss about the current traditional data pipeline problem. Now, what do you mean by traditional data pipeline problems? Well, currently in the market, the data is being moved from one system to other. When I say one system to other, the data can be collected from CSV files, flat files, XML files, JSON files, and can be organized well into one system, and then moving the data to the different environments for the different business. Now, this is what is happening currently. Well, the word traditional means previously, how it is happening, and how we are going to provide a better solution today in cloud. Now, in order to understand better, what we will do is we'll first talk about traditional end-to-end data pipeline. I'll give an example like how exactly the pipeline works. And after that, we will see that what are the problems we have in this traditional pipeline. That is something which we'll be following. Well, to start with, let us understand the pipeline first. Now, the pipeline says that this is a traditional pipeline. We can also call it as ETL process. ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. Well, this is a traditional ETL process where we try to create a ETL here. So ETL is nothing but data engineering, gathering the data, organizing the data, loading the data, reporting to the end users. Well, In this traditional ETL problem, the one thing which you can clearly observe is the main focus is you have to do it in at the initial layer. The data can come from different flat files, some unstructured database. It also comes from the customer enterprise applications. Well, there are many sources that the data can be brought into the system. Well, there is always a challenge. If you're bringing something from one place to other, you need to keep an extra careful on the product. Same way, bringing the data from one system to other system is not as easy as you think. You need to think how safe, how secure the data can be brought. Now, just to give an overview of how this traditional ETL process works, well, we do get the data and then we do all the type of transformations, intermediate tables, staging tables where it can load into some of the intermediate tables, and finally you're transmitting that data source into the data mart. So data mart, I would say that it's a specific domain based data. Well, you're getting the data from multiple data source, and the system is like you're working on one single system, I mean when one single line of business. In that case, we call it as a data mart. From the data mart, we do the all the type of reporting. Now this is a traditional ETL process. This is a traditional ETL process. Now one thing we need to focus is whenever you are doing this traditional process, lot of challenges will come, and that challenges, I would say that you need to keep an extra precaution on this because something goes wrong, your system can get hampered. Now when I say traditional ETL process, movement of data from one system to other by using the on-premises technologies can help you to achieve this. But is it effective? Are we going to solve the problem? Well, that's a major problem we need to think about it. Well, in order to decide about whether you have to go with cleaning or without cleaning, that depends on the business. Now, since the data you're getting is being flown to the multiple tools, from the multiple tools, again, you are showing as a cleaned workable data. And from there onwards, you take forward to the BI. Now, this is a traditional ETL process. Now, you should also think about what are the technologies we do have which can help us to achieve this. Well, currently in the market, there are n number of technologies we can achieve it, like SSIS, an IBM tool. We have Talent. We do have Oracle's data integrator, Informatica, and also we do have SAS. Well, there are many tools which can help us in achieving this ETL process. I would say that there is still some of the drawbacks with this tool. Well, yesterday I've told you that if you want to store an Excel file which is of 10 terabyte, you can still store it in your local machine by purchasing 10 laptops, where each costing 1 lakh per each. Well, is it really recommended? Definitely no. The reason why it is not recommended is how much money you will end up paying it. 10 lakhs for 10 laptops, is it really worth? And as if you have 20 hands. No, you have to go and give someone to work on. Maximum you can work on one system. The other 9 systems has to be given to someone else. Now that's a major problem when you're doing a Excel storage, or you can just give your wherever you have the data, you consider the data as a storage. Well, there are many tools which can help us, but why we are still not following these tools? What is wrong with these tools? Is there any problem with this tool? Now that's the topic for today. What are the problems that we have in this traditional ETL processing? Well, there are hundreds of tools in the market, but why are we focusing on the cloud now, and why we are not focusing on this traditional ETL tools? Well, in order to explain this, let me go step by step, and you can see that the first problem which you may have it, high cost and failure rates. Forget about the on-premises databases. Just talk about the laptop. Well, to store 1 terabyte of laptop, it's still possible. I will not say it's not possible, it's still possible by storing in your personal machines. But how much you'll pay? 10 lakhs is a very huge amount. Then, since everything comes under on premises, you need to focus on how flexible is the architecture, how easy it is to get the information from the table, how well we can work with the clients. So all comes under how the architecture is built. Well, also I would say that if you don't create a proper pipeline, there is high likely chance that the architecture can be pretty complex and the data can leak over the systems. And even in terms of the one table which you are maintaining the entire record, there could be a problem called redundancy. Now, what is data redundancy? Now, data redundancy, I would say that it's like a repetitive records, or it is stored in the multiple systems, or even I can say that it is a space consuming objective in your traditional database. Well, the other set of problems are, you can see that the systems are very slow when you're doing an ETL process in your online, that is on your system. Well, even though you have a very good system, still the multiple technologies, multiple tools will be running on it. So it is going to kill your time. And day by day, it is also going to degrade your process in terms of your application as well as in terms of a technical aspects. The system is going to be slow, and it is also going to perform very low. Well, since everything we are doing it in on-prem, I would say some of the technologies are outdated. Some of the technologies are outdated. Well, how long you can build in your system, how long we can build in your cloud based, how long you can build in SSIS. So there should be a way where we can go and solve this problem. Well, not only technology, there will be very less people who can test our data. I would say that the testing team will not even be worried, because even if they're worried, we have to find out which is the right product and which is a not right product, which has some error, which does not have error. So all this has to be considered before doing the data validation. Now, one thing we can think about it, one thing we can think about it is what we are doing here, it's all the problems. Now, how do you solve this? Well, you need not even worry because this problems which we had is not only for a single project. You take any project, any schemas, the things will be very difficult if you are going with on-prem. The reason in going with on-prem is you have to pay for it. And each and every server, you know how costly it is. Now, majority of their income, you have to give it for servers. Now, are you really worth of doing it in on-prem? That's the question to you. Well, these are all the problems which can be handled in a better way. Let's stop using cloud-based going forward. I mean, the normal ones, traditional one. And where we are going? We are all going into cloud-based now. Traditional, we will stop it. I know the problem. Let me stop it. And we'll think about cloud-based. We'll think about cloud-based. Well, when you're thinking about cloud-based, you should also keep focus on what are the things that is possible by cloud-based. Well, for that, we do have few of the cloud computing services which is going to solve your problem, and those are AWS, Azure, GCP. I've told you to store 10 terabyte of data, purchasing 10 laptops not worth because it is going to charge you 10 lakhs. Now, what's the best way? What's the best way? In order to maintain this high cost, flexibility, performance issue, we can start thinking about cloud computing. Now, cloud computing is like a systems which can do everything for you with a limited cost. Now, the functionality involved as a problem can be overcome by few of the solutions, and that solution can be implemented by AWS, Azure, and GCP. Well, problem will still exist, but you need to find a solution. Now we are going and finding out a system which can help us to solve our problem, that is AWS, Azure, and GCP. In this, we are going to learn Azure. There are 3 to 4 type of clouds that is available in the market, and the one which we are going to learn will be Azure. Now, by end of this live sessions as well as the course which you are going through here, you will be considered as a professional data engineer, and especially you'll be called as Azure data engineer. Now, that's what you're going to become in the next 2-3 months when you learn each and every technology of the tool. Right? Now, when I talk about a solution, I need to be available of what are the services also available. Now, we have seen that 3 type of cloud computing can help us, but we'll be studying on Azure. Now, Azure data engineer is the course which we are going to have it in this sessions. Now, each and every question which we are discussing will be important point to know steps involved in the pipeline. But remember, no more on-prem pipelines. Everything is going to be built in the cloud. Everything is going to be built in the cloud. Well, you may ask me a question, why AWS is not used? Well, AWS is also used, who call themselves as AWS data engineer. But what we are doing? We are focusing on Azure. Both the cloud services provides exactly the same feature. The only thing is the way you use, the way method the works, the way the your outline process works, that is important, right? Now that's the solution which you can give it. Now you need to understand how the system is going to solve your problem. Now you need to keep a clear cut picture of how you can solve your system by using cloud. Now this was the traditional pipeline, and for that, as a solution, we are going to use cloud. Well, high cost, flexibility, inflexibility, the complexity, the performance, outdated technologies, and there is no proper testing team. All this becomes the problems, but don't worry, we do have solution as cloud. Well, in the next video, we will look into Azure as a component. We'll start working on Azure. Well, we just know the problem statement. We just know what we can do, but we still need to explore more on the tools and technologies. So slowly we'll start exploring one by one, and the first technology we'll start is Azure. Now, why Azure came into picture? What was the current problem? Why we have to use cloud based? That we will be discussing tomorrow. Okay. With that, we'll end the live session today. We'll continue in the next live session. Thank you all. Thank you for your time.